the disciples asleep again. Couldn't even sit through 1 hour of a worship service. They were sitting there asleep again. And he comes and he wakes them up again. 3 different times he does this. Oh, you don't understand. Oh, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Oh, you don't understand. The hour is upon us. And he says the 3rd time, and the hour now has come. And he looks, and there comes an angry mob with torches and clubs. And guess who is leading the pack? There stands Judas coming with them that is there. And he comes and he walks up to Jesus Christ and he calls him Master, oh teacher, Rabbi, we have followed you. And he reaches out and he kisses him on the cheek, because Judas had told them, the one that I kiss, lay hold on him, for he is Jesus. For the price of 30 pieces of silver, for the price of a common slave, Judas sold his soul, sold out Jesus Christ for the price of a common slave. Oh, the agony, the thirsting of the soul as he turns around and he sees the angry mob coming there, and he is kissed by that betrayer. Jesus was taken to the house that night of the cold-hearted Caiaphas. The Bible would share with us where he was detained until daybreak by the Jewish authority. Jesus Christ, knowing that he was an innocent man, knowing that he had done nothing that was wrong, that he was a man without sin even in his own heart. Oh, how his soul must have thirsted. Oh, how the physical body must have thirsted that night. He had prayed until the sweat became like blood. Oh, he's there now in the hours of darkness in the house of Caiaphas, and he's being held there by the Jewish authorities. Oh, in the middle of the night, Jesus was officially condemned. They came to him and said, you are condemned. You must go before Pilate. You are condemned because you have betrayed. You have went against Caesar, the king. Jesus, and all the innocence that he was, had to thirst that night in the physical body. The Bible doesn't share with us that he took a drink after that night in the Garden of Gethsemane. It is the reason why, as he was hanging in the noonday sun, as they had pierced his side, blood and water came out, that he sat on the cross and he cried those words, I thirst. I thirst. Oh, what about you today? Oh, what about you today, sinner? Do you thirst for the love of Jesus Christ to come into your life? What about you, church person? Do you thirst today to see the power of God show up in this place so that he might not only change the lives of those that are lost, but to change my life, to change your life? Oh, how we need to understand that we need to thirst. Jesus thirsted as he went there before the cowardly Pilate, as he granted the wishes of the howling mob that was there yelling out, crucify, crucify him. You mean you want me to release unto you Barabbas, one that we know that has committed a crime, and crucify Jesus Christ in whom I find no fault in? Crucify. Crucify. Oh, how Jesus must have thirsted as he stood before Pilate in Pilate's judgment hall, where he was found innocent by the Roman governor and yet was condemned to die. The cowardly Pilate granted the wish of that howling mob who cried for his crucifixion, even though he knew him to be innocent of the charges that was brought against him. He was ordered, my people, to bear his own cross on the way to Golgotha. They placed the cross upon his shoulder. Listen, the implications of him toting that cross until he could tote it no longer. His body had been beaten. The blood had run from him. All the moisture within his body had been beat with the stripes that had been placed upon his back. And they placed the cross upon him. And he began the journey to Golgotha. And he collapsed because his body was thirsty. There was no power left. There was no human strength. Everything that he knew collapsed under the weight of the cross. Oh, the implication of I thirst. For when he was on that cross, it had been a terrible ordeal the night before. I thirst. I thirst. What about you today? Do you thirst? Well, what's some other implications of those words? I thirst. Oh, we know the ordeal that he went through that night. Oh, we know him being ordered to bear his own cross, and did so until he collapsed under the exhaustion of the tired body that had been up all night, and the thirsting of his soul, the glory that he had left. We find it in John chapter 17, an intense thirst to redeem. Listen, the wayward human, was placed upon his shoulder, brought Jesus from heaven. Did you hear me? His thirst to redeem you brought him from the heaven that he knew to the earth to bear the agony of the cross. Why? Because I thirst to redeem. I thirst. I thirst for you, Four Points Baptist Church. I thirst for you that are lost. I thirst for you that have trouble of mind today. I thirst for you that have trouble of heart today. Jesus' intense thirst for the salvation of the lost soul kept him faithful to the test, even when Satan tempted him for 40 days and offered unto him all the kingdoms of the world in return just for his worship before Satan that day. Oh, he thirsted for the lost souls, and he endured the temptation of the devil for 40 days because he thirsted to redeem that which is lost. I thirst. I thirst. Oh, Jesus' intense thirst for the salvation of the lost kept him faithful to the task when he was misunderstood, even by his own people. The Bible says that Jesus Christ went into Nazareth and he wanted to do miracles there. Why? Because he thirsted for the souls of men that was there in his own hometown. And the Bible says that he could not do miracles there because they would not accept him even in his own town. He thirsted for the people of Nazareth. I thirst. Oh, he thirsts for us today. I thirst. I can't help but think Jesus' intense thirst for the salvation of the lost caused him to decide to leave the safety of Galilee and to turn his face toward Jerusalem and said, I've got to go. I've got to go to Jerusalem. But you don't understand, Jesus. There's people in Jerusalem that hate you. There's people in Jerusalem that want to kill you. But the hour has come, and it is now, that I must go because I thirst for the souls of man. I thirst. I thirst. Oh, I can't help but think, as Jesus was sitting there with the sins of the world upon his shoulders, it was Jesus' thirst to see people come to know him as the Father had loved Jesus. Oh, I thirst to see the people come unto me, Father, for me and you are one. And as you and I are one, I pray, I thirst for those that are sitting at the foot of the cross. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. I thirst so that they may come and find the fellowship, to find the love, to be restored, to come and to share. Listen, I thirst for a salvation of the lost world. I thirst. I thirst. When he was sitting on the cross, blood running from his hands, the spear had been pierced in his side, and the Bible says that out came blood and the water. Oh, I thirst. As life is leaving me, I thirst that we might save the lost. I thirst to restore fellowship with you, Lord. Father, wow. Why hast thou forsaken me? I thirst to come running back to you. Oh, he thirsted to redeem the lost. The next point.